People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People of 7 on Twitter and YouTube, People of elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. My soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, could be located at people.etsy.com. And my t-shirt designs, purplebutterfly-people.tmail.com. Hold on a second. And I want to talk to you about memory tricks, okay? Everyone knows that I had a stroke. I've got a bleed in my eye, so if you see some red, don't panic. It'll go away in a couple of days. But people know that I've had 2 strokes and a pulmonary embolism and a whole bunch of other things that have gone wrong because I have a blood disorder that causes me to spontaneously bleed, clot, or bruise. And after having a stroke, I got my memory back relatively quickly, and apparently that's unusual. And because I'm OCD as well, people figured that must be how I got my memory back. But let's think about something. There's a whole set of stuff that I knew how to do that I no longer know how to do because it's in the ether. It was a skill set I knew before the stroke. And the knitting, I've since relearned how to knit. I'm learning how to sew again. I got a new sewing machine just for that purpose because the sewing machine I had no longer suits that purpose because it was a knee pedal style and I have a knee brace. I can't feel my knee to sew, so I either sew really too fast or I can't sew at all because I can't feel my knee. So some of those things are gone for good, and then there's other skill sets that I've learned. But I got my memory back because of the way I've always processed memories, like mnemonics and pictures. I think in pictures, I think in rhymes and mnemonics. Like nettle, okay? Someone was they had a video on, oh, we had nettle and I got stung, blah, blah, blah. And this saying that I grew up with popped right back in my head. I literally had forgot it up until she said, oh, I got a nettle sting on my nose. But it's like the saying goes, grasp the nettle like a man of metal, and soft as silk your skin remains. Gently pick the nettle, and it stings you for your pains. And if you've ever dealt with nettle, you know what I mean. If you pick up this plant, it will stick you like cactus. But if you snatch it, your skin won't get affected. And it's like just the grabbing motion brought back that memory. So I told her. I typed it in and everything so that way she can read it for herself. But also, like when I was learning Spanish, which I'm a dismal failure at, the words in Spanish that I remember because of the picture it put in my brain. Like the word for butter is mantequilla. I remember man to keys. It sounds ridiculous, but if you have a picture in your head of a man coming out of a pile of butter holding 2 keys, you remember mantequilla. That's how my brain works. So if everything in your brain is a picture or a mnemonic or a rhyme or something, then that will help you remember even if you have 2 strokes and you can't remember your own name, but you remember all this trivial information. It's still up there. So all you had to do is find a way to access it. So, yeah, that's like My full name is Tony Lakea Peoples. The only thing I remember for Tony was my ex-husband used to call me Tony. Literally that way. So I associated it with something unpleasant as well as him being something unpleasant. So I don't go by Tony, I go by Kay. And it's like every time somebody calls me Tony, I found my face doing that. So apparently that unpleasantness, the way he said my name, is still up there. But when somebody say Kay, I'm going, hey, okay, call me Kay. It's a smiley type face. And people's, I don't even remember Peeples. I think, hey, there's a people, there's a people, there's some more people, And I'll visually in my brain see a group of people. So you have people, plural, so peoples. And then, of course, I go back and spell it the correct way. So if you have trouble with memories, find a way to associate it with something that will, if it makes you laugh or cause a giggle, like, the man coming out of the butter with two keys, man tequila, then that will help you remember it forever. Like, when it's musical notes, face, those are I remember face was the notes. I can't play a piano or even associate music anymore, but I remember the word face. And then every good boy deserves fudge or something like that. But basically, those memories are still in there somewhere. You just have to learn how to access them. That's like, I'm learning to sew on my new sewing machine. The other day, I couldn't remember how to do the bobbin. I messed up a whole bunch of thread trying to redo the bobbin. And then when I remembered the step that I missed, it was like, duh. So, yeah, the only thing I forgot to do was, okay, when you push the thing in to, cause the automated part of the bobbin, there's this little hook that you have to thread it through before you take it through, because that activates the automated feature. Otherwise, if you put it through the other part that I went through, then your feed dogs are going like this. And it was like, duh. So once you remember something, find a way to keep remembering it. Find a way to make it funny so it sticks in there, or make it a song, because the quickest way to remember anything is if it's in the form of a song, like the ABCs, one, two, threes. That's like, to say the alphabet in French. We didn't go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We went A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, E, G, K, L, M, N, K, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Là, je sais mon alphabet. Dis-moi si ça n'est pas gay. And I do remember exactly what I just said. Now I know my alphabets. Tell me if you think that's great. you know? But if you ask me if I speak French directly, I have to say no. The French that I remember, the French that I speak, is basically what they call automatic speech. It's like, it's in there, but it's not conscious there. I have to trigger a memory. But a lot of that is through songs that I learned while I learned French. When I lived in El Paso, Texas, a lot of the Spanish I learned was from a store I worked at, where basically everybody, that I came across, I've worked in the railway department. Yeah, I worked in the railway department. And people would come up to me and say something and be like, cerrato, which means we're closing. And they'd be like, no, no English, they'll say they don't speak English or whatever. And then it's like, no, Serato, Serato Domingo. And I would say whatever it was to say, come back Monday. And also, and these people that don't speak Spanish, don't speak English, be like, oh, come on, you can process this one last order. Oh, so you do speak English. So, you know to come back tomorrow, or you know to come back Monday. But basically, they would say something in Spanish and I would respond to it and I would respond correctly. Because I knew Spanish at that point in time. But in this point in time, I remember factura, which is invoice. I remember Serato, which is close on Sunday, which is Serato Domingo. I remember fragments. I remember butter. I remember crema de café, cafe de crema leche. I remember cream in my coffee or milk in my coffee, no sugar. But I don't remember how to speak Spanish. That's one of the things that I have to relearn, and I'm gonna have to relearn it in its entirety. In other words, no fragments. I need to start from um, the first word in Spanish, which would be the letter A, to the last word Z. You know, the whole language. I would have to relearn that because I only know fragments. In French, I still am somewhat fluent, but it's automatic. It's hard to explain. There's still that disconnect there. But what I remember, I remember. And when I remember stuff, it has to have a flow. Like when someone says something that is musical or funny or like a joke or whatever, those memories stay in there a lot longer than it's almost like the Pythagorean theory. You know, if you close your eyes, you can literally visualize everything in your day. But if you try to go, oh, well, I'm just going to do it this way, you'll draw a blank here, a blank here, a blank here, then here's that gap, and then here's a memory missing, and now it's a useless memory. So if you're going to learn how to, um, lost my whole train of thought. If you're going to learn how to use memory tricks, learn how to associate it with something funny or something musical. Anyway, I got a flashing red light over here, so I'm thinking I'm about to lose the tape. So this has been People of Seven on Twitter and YouTube. That's another thing. I remembered how to say my name and my website by remembering literally in my brain, I had a picture of a purple butterfly. So that's how I remembered I'm People, the purple butterfly. So use those mnemonics, use those numerics and musicals and things like that to help you remember, and that will help you get a photographic memory. If you're OCD, the same thing that you do that drives everybody else bats, use that to help you remember those little details that drive everybody back. You could use that to get your memory back or to improve your existing memory. So give that a try. I'm signing off now. This has been People of Seven on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. My soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, can be located at people.etsy.com. And my t-shirt designs, purplebutterfly-people.gmail.com. Y'all stay blessed and stay tuned. And I'll talk to y'all later. Gotta eat dinner now. Bye now.